This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. I really want to get her feedback on this. Artificial intelligence, AI, is everywhere. You pick up the phone, you speak to an automated system. A lot of times you do a search online. It's automated. Everything is automated now, pretty much so. But we're still needed in the human world. She harnesses the power of energy and your auric field as well. She's an intuitive artist and harnesses the power of energy and how it supports us. So we're going to dig into that today, artificial intelligence and its place in our energetic world and also the planets and what's controlling us in terms of our energy. Shelli Bowen is back with us. How are you doing today?
Oh, perfectly put, Steve. Thank you. Yes, I'm doing well. I'm all jazzed up about the connection we have with our Earth and solar system right now. Um, I'm Chakra Shelli, and I am known for being able to be an auric guide, your aura, and guiding you because I can see your energies. One question that is going through the cosmic or connection humans right now is who are you? Is your spirit? Just tap into that for a moment. If somebody was to ask you, explain your spirit in a 2 or 3, 4 word description.
Ooh, tough one. All right, before we go there, how do you define spirit?
So your spirit is who you feel you are, your personality, not what someone's told you things are, what you have to adhere to rules around you. It is when you get quiet and think, who am I and what is important to me? What do I hold value in?
Okay. I wrote the words down because I want to remember as I speak them. And I don't know if this is in line, but if I pick 4 words, I would say intuitive. I can't deny it. If there's something, not to your level or even close, empathetic, creative, and as I've discovered in the last couple of years, resilient. And I have to use that word because it was way more than I ever thought.
Yes.
And situations presented, some pretty major ones, where I made that determination. So, yeah, I am very humble, and usually I don't like pat myself on the back. But I'm going to throw that word resilient in there.
Absolutely. And today I did want to look at the significance of words. Very powerful. The throat chakra and the third eye chakra and our solar plexus, they're all right there adjacent to each other, are very powerful vortexes of energy. We underestimate the power of who we are as humans. We can literally speak into being our world around us and the world around others. Have you ever walked into, this is an example, but if you ever walked into a room where somebody's just been fighting, arguing, and yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
what? You feel it. It's an energy. Have you ever, and then of course, let's take a real quick look at listening to Christmas carols, the feeling of lifting you up and, community love and supporting and reaching down and lifting someone else up and the energy of children, the innocence, passion of life through children, Christmas. So just those words that I've used with us right now. And of course, the words that you used to describe your spirit, immediately it gave me energy. Those words you used to describe you is very, very powerful words. Wow. So
I feel them. I feel them. So I said them. And there's, the intuition thing. I don't know. I felt I needed to say it because I feel I have a level of that. And I think we all do. but now I realize I got a little, it's on my radar now, as opposed to just piloting blindly, if you will.
Yes, well put. And you have a velvet or it's like a violet flame above your head. I didn't mention that last time because I was sort of stunned and had to think about it, meditate, like, where's that coming from? Because I see it every once in a while and every great once in a while, not all the time. It's not on my radar, but you have the violet flame. And so as I did a little research and did some pondering, the violet flame is the crown chakra. There is an umbilical cord that we have that connects us to the cosmos, connects us to our spirit guides, to above, love or above. It's very spiritual.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about the cosmos, are we talking about galaxy, planets, and such?
Yes, the universe. And I try to stay right in the sphere of our solar system, that organized part of who planet Earth is. We're connected to the universe as a whole, of course, absolutely, but I like to zero in on the planets that are connected to our chakras because they are full of archetypical personality that promotes our well-being, that helps us connect into creation, evolution of our soul.
When you say that the chakras are connected to planets, do you mean that each one of us is connected to a different planet? Say, my throat chakra might be connected to Venus. I don't know, pick any planet. Where yours might be connected to another, or is the throat chakra always connected to one particular planet?
It is. There are the primary chakras. So I like to stay with primary chakras because we really can get into debates with, secondary, tertiary planets. Yes, I can't argue with somebody that wanted to debate that these other planets outside of the primary, are aware of us and promote our well-being too. Absolutely. But the fundamental is who I stick with. So, for example, at the tip of the tailbone, that root chakra is connected to Mars. Mars it's the red planet. The root chakra is red. It's an advocate. It will promote the well-being and back you in astrology. It's known for that. It's notorious. And just above your root chakra, there in your sacral chakra, is the color orange, but it's connected to the Venus, the passion, the planet of love. It's just above your pelvic bone, between your hip bones, the sacral chakra. I call it the sacred sacral chakra, but it's that energy of, passion. Like I like to say, remember to look through the lens of a child where all things become brand new type thing. That's the sacral chakra. And then directly above that, the solar plexus is the sun. Personal power, the sun. What would we do? Well, we wouldn't do without it. The sun, very powerful, personal power. It's a archetypical, but it's a literal as well, the sun. And then directly above the solar plexus there in the heart chakra is connected to the moon. And the moon is notorious for, the feelings, how we.
Let's look at that for a moment. There was a full moon.
Super full moon.
Correct. On Thursday, 6:14 p.m. Eastern. And I spoke with an astrologer who said that very impactful for anybody that wants to make change or speak their mind, voice something for 5 days after the full moon. So we're in that period right now. What are your thoughts overall about that kind of information? Do you subscribe to it? Do you think it's like, man, whatever, I really want your feelings on the planets and astrology and that kind of connection.
100%. I have to say that, let's just start at the fundamental part about the moon. We all know what it does to the ocean tides, that we ourselves are over 60% water, depending on how hydrated you are. It involves us immensely. The moon does physically. And then, of course, the emotional part that goes with the physical part. But the moon itself plays a huge role when we are first born. And I'll explain it like this. Where the moon was when I was born was a new moon. That's the cycle it was in.
Mm.
There's a new moon. And so uh, that means with that, it has everything to do with new beginnings. I love to learn. I am passionate about, uh, the whole stimulation of not being bored and new beginnings, reaching out. And so the moon, having a reading in somebody's when they were born is very powerful.
So you're talking about going back to where the planets were when you were born, looking at an astrological chart, have a
Yes.
transit done.
Yes. So it does, though they all play a role with the astrological chart. So when I do a reading, I'll tap into uh, my studies in where of course, what the zodiac sign is at the time of their birth, absolutely. But really, what I've leaned into, I'll look at what their numerology number is, what their life path number is. That plays a huge role back into the numbers. It isn't as simple as, having an educated or just that's their whole life astrologer giving you a reading right now or an explanation. I'm more into the spiritual side. I really lean into where the moon was when you're born. I look at, of course, where the planets are lined up. And in healing, when we start talking about healing, which that's what I'm about, alignment, unblocking the flow of who you are. Uh, I tap into the earth where the moon was, what zodiac sign you are, but then what the numbers are that make up and promote your well-being.
Mm. It's interesting when you start looking into this stuff. Life path number, mine is 11. And
See,
then I moved. And when I added up the numbers of my address, it's 11. 11 was also impactful because my father passed suddenly on the 11th day. Um, it's when you start looking at that. And now Mercury retrograde, where the planet Mercury looks like it's spinning backwards, things can get a little crazy, communication, et cetera, et cetera. When I look back to pinnacle moments in my life, and there's been a few of them. Not to get into detail, don't need to, but there was a hostage ordeal I was involved in when I was much younger in broadcast. And long story short, I had to broadcast these messages to save kids in a school. And I did, and it's a crazy time. I look back at that recently, and it's on my radar, so I'm going to share this. It was during a Mercury retrograde. It's like if you start looking at these things, I'm not trying to see them, they present. It's like when you do a little bit of, you just open your eyes a little bit. The stuff like the 11. Coincidence? I think so, that 11 shows up in my life. And as I understand it, it's a pretty good life path number.
it really is. It's very powerful. It looks like a door. When I look at the number 11, it looks like a doorway to cross through into a more higher sphere, uh,
Hmm.
tapping into your higher self, uh, synchronicity. Anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. You've got that extra energy going for you. And on the topic of the Mercury retrograde, I want to put a plug in for this. And I'm not doing it, this isn't a debate or whatever, but I look at it as that it is an opportunity for us to tap into our higher, our let's say our superpowers, our higher self
During the retrograde?
during a retrograde. So when you have these, I look at your situation, for example. I personally feel what you just described happened with the hostage, and you were able to get a message through, was an opportunity for you to utilize your superpower, which is you picked it before you were born, to grow from your throat chakra. You are most strong in your solar plexus. That shows up in your auric field, but your throat chakra you pick to have the universe, people, places, and things will help us through energy. It's tripping us up, kind of. it depends on how you look at it, but the minute you're tripped up or you have to stumble and get back up on your feet, you find out, wow, I am pretty strong. Or, oh, that helped shape who I am now. It might felt very intimidating or overwhelming within a moment of time, but ultimately, you are much more because of it.
100 billion%. And sometimes the universe has to shake it up a little bit to shake you up a little bit so you realize these things. And quite honestly, this happened when I was 21. I had already been working in broadcast. I got a full-time position at a big station doing news and public service. I had no idea what I was doing. They gave me the job. A month later, this situation presented. And I, quite honestly, I just put it aside in my mind. It was a crazy time. I put it aside. I spoke with a psychic a couple of months ago, and she started giving me information. She knew nothing about it. It reminded me of what went down on that day. And the person who took students hostage eventually took his life. She had a message from him as a psychic. And then that's when I started looking deeper into it. And then it clicked in my head. It's like, oh, resilient, that prepared you for your future. My whole situation. Because here I am, like I have to read these things on the radio from this guy while CNN is with a camera in one, the police are handing me another message to read. Like it was crazy for a kid at that time. But I guess I pulled it off. And then I look back, it's like, oh, I guess, some resilience. I want to ask you, you said some words to describe your energy, who you are, what you feel. Three or four words for you. What would it be?
An advocate for mankind, uh, an advocate for Mother Earth, and most of all, I believe in unconditional love. That's been my lesson throughout from birth, and that's a hard pill to swallow, so to speak. Wow. Um,
Mm,
yeah, it's challenged me a couple of times, the unconditional love part. But we come here to evolve, to become, and partake, of course. I'm a lover of the Mother Earth. I remember as being 4 years old, we moved to California about a block from the beach and walking onto the sand and standing there at barely 4 years old. It's very vivid to me, an overwhelming connection. And I was in awe, my eyes filled with tears, even at that age, of the beauty and the majesty of our earth.
mm. I'm right there with you, Shelly. And I had that flash in my mind about a year ago when I realized everything we are is the earth. Everything. Start thinking about it. Where did everything come from? As you pare it back, it starts with the earth. Everything. Your cell phone, it's got semiconductors in there. Silicon came from the earth. Clothes we wear came from cotton, came from the earth. The foods we eat, of course. The steel beams in a building came from the earth. When you think about it, it's everything, right?
Amen. I mean, I am so enamored with the power of who we are as humans, but also our connection with Earth. We are an extension of Earth, but then taking it farther, our connection with the solar system. And how these archetypes influence our personality so that we can experience. They say all the time, all the spiritual leaders, everybody who's anybody ultimately will come up with, connect to that we all come from the one, we all are one type thing. And that's so true. And so let's look at that. In order to have a personal experience, it would take breaking free from the one, coming down through into this particular solar system and Earth, and you know, being activated and or experiencing the humanism through some archetypes that were set up, even to the extent of animals, animal archetypes. It's just phenomenal of the opportunity we are given to experience different things that add to who we are as an individual. Because what I experience being connected to even a crystal, certain crystal that I'm an advocate for, it will give me, for example, if I'm around amethyst, which comes from the earth, it will give me a feeling of serenity. But I have a friend, she's always saying I do feel a little more, relaxed from that. It takes away from the anxiety, but it really taps me into my spiritual self. So I think my point there is that taking us all the way around the circle in that everything that surrounds us, I believe, is advocating our individuality and how to be an individual and have these wonderful experiences that create who we are is a gift from the gods and should not be taken lightly when comparing ourselves to the computer, robots, artificial intelligence, with the operative word being there, artificial.
Mm, mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. We need humans to power those. We also need humans to properly prompt AI because it's not going to perform unless you ask it to do what you want with clarity. Um, what do you see 5 years from now in general? Maybe it's technology, maybe it's the environment. What are you feeling? And we're not holding you to this, but what are you feeling?
I've had, strong awarenesses, truths come to me in meditation that I am not, I'm not negative, completely negative when it comes to AI. Our near future within the next 5 years is going to be accelerated in terms of artificial intelligence. We know that, but there's going to be a lot of things that come from this that are advocating well-being, such as, new disease, cures for disease. Um, we're a lot of blessings from it, and I see us being more connected with the galaxies around us.
Mm,
I do. And that communication being opened up, that we're not alone, we're not all by ourselves, and that there is a lot of positive things that are going to happen this next 5 years. That AI is going to be an advocate for helping us overcome challenges that we have in our humanism. But I also feel and see that we will become more aware, more so than ever, the significance of our connection to Earth.
mm.
In fact, I think the more plastic we get, the more people I will see in the crystal stores, the more people I'll see out hiking, climbing the cliffs or walking the beaches. We're going to become, I think there was a lull there for just a little bit that we were, it's trial and error, trial and error. We have polluted some things. We didn't know any better. We went through, a significant time period that was
Hmm.
disabilitating to the earth. But
Wait, it
yeah,
seems like we woke up and we're looking for something, even though many of us don't know what that something is and might not even realize that it lies within energy and chakras and all of that. But we're looking for something. And I agree with you. We are going to be more open to it and discovering it. And because everything is so robotic, AI and all that, we're going to be craving that nature connection, just like you said. In droves, people are going to be hiked. I need to get out into, Mother Earth and do all of that. um, Thank you for your insight today. I know that you do so much in terms of intuition as an artist and even working with people on chakras and healing as well. How do we connect with you? What's the best way?
I am. So it's chakrashellyheals.com. And that's CHAKRA ShelliHeals.com. That's my website. You can book an appointment with me. My phone, I have a number that people can text to connect with me, and that is 435-327-1197. And then Gmail. People can connect with me through Gmail, and that's ShelliBowen@gmail.com.
Beautiful. Thank you for all the insight today. It confirms a lot of things that took me a long time to figure out. And you know what? Next, Mercury retrograde, I don't look at it a different way. Usually now we look at it as challenging in terms of communication and technology, but never saw
Really
it the
a
way.
blessing. It's a blessing.
Blessing.
It
Yeah.
is for real. You have to just sort of stop, breathe into your nose, hold, exhale through your mouth, and tap into your superpowers. It's real.
Love
That's a
it.
big deal. Yeah.
Thank you for today. We'll catch up soon. Okay.
I'll look forward to it. Thanks,
Likewise.
Steve.
We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.